Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo!
Ah, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. All aboard the murder train, pulling away from the station. We got some weird stuff today, as usual. And 10 pounds of dynamite in a 1 pound bag today.
Yes.
It's wild stuff. Before we get to it, very quickly, shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all of your everything for that has to do with us. Most of all, tickets for live shows. Most of the summer's sold out, but there is a show this summer that isn't sold out yet. Chicago.
Yes.
August the 12th. It's a big venue. It's going to be our biggest show ever. And you know what I decided? We're going to do a special show for Chicago.
Oh, what?
It is going to be that's the only time we'll do that live show this year is in Chicago. We're going to do a Chicago-only live show. So
terrific.
If you've seen other shows and you've seen, some people have seen a couple of them so far, you're going to see a completely different show there. So get those tickets. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, Dallas, couple tickets left in D.C., Philly, Charlotte, Atlanta left for this year. Right. So everything else is sold out. Get them right now. Also, patreon.com/crime and sports. That's where you get the bonus material. Yeah. Anybody $5 a month or above, you are going to get everything we do bonus-wise. You're going to get the whole back catalog. You're also going to get new episodes every other week. This week, which you're going to get for Crime and Sports, which you also get, you're going to get in-ring boxing deaths we'll talk about.
My.
People beat to death in front of a crowd, which is just savage and crazy. When they shouldn't at all. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about a wild documentary that makes the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia look like it's a documentary on the royal family. Because these people, it's bad. They live in Mudlick, Kentucky, and times are tough, and there's a murder that stems from it that you can watch blossom in this documentary. It's crazy shit. We'll talk about that. American Hollow, it's called. Can't wait for that. That is patreon.com/crime and sports. That said, time to get into this because it's a lot of story. We got to go here. But before that, I think it's time, everybody, wherever you are, I don't care where you are. That's right. Cause a traffic jam. Stop in the middle of the intersection. Get out. Throw your arms to the sky and shout, "Shut up and give me murder." Believe me, people will leave you alone.
Yeah.
After that, they'll go, we'll let that person get back into their car because, I don't know.
You don't have to use a turn signal. It's all right.
They could have a problem right now. So that said, let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
Okay.
We're going all the way down to Texas right now. Oh, yeah, no. Texas. We're going to Nassau Bay, Texas.
Well, that doesn't sound
right.
Nope,
that sounds like it's like off of Long Island.
That sounds, or Jamaica.
Like Nassau, like the Nassau County Coliseum there. And Nassau County is in Long Island. Yeah, it's the same way, too. Nassau Bay. It's also obviously in the Caribbean.
Bahamas.
But Nassau Bay, Texas. It's in southeastern Texas, about a half hour outside of Houston. This is. It's 8 hours from our last Texas episode, which was Odessa, Texas. That
is fucking crazy that you can drive for 8 hours and stay not even close to the fucking border.
Nope. This is all the way up there. That's all the way up by, in the Panhandle, Odessa. Population of this town, 5,191. Median income here is about 60,000, a little over that. So it's a little above the national average. It's a suburb. It's like a nice kind of nice suburban kind of family type environment.
Beachy
Median
Houston.
home. Sort of, Median. There's a lake here. Median home price is $361,700.
Okay.
And the motto here is charting new horizons.
Okay.
In other words, we're going to build a bunch of neighborhoods at once. That's what that means.
We got a lot of developers.
Because that's what they did. This started out where a guy named Colonel Raymond Pearson established a ranch called the Spirit of 1776 Ranch. And that's
very much.
And that became Nassau Bay, that area of his ranch. In 1962, they planned a community to be an exclusively residential, nice gated communities, all sorts of shit like that. And they built it for, this is in 1962, $49 million, which is $623 million today. So
much money.
It's a lot. So people started coming. Originally, 400 people came in the start, and then in 1968 they had almost 3,000 people. It became a city after that, and it started to grow a little bit, but not too much. It's still pretty.
Okay.
There's a limited. Well, there's a limited amount of it. It's kind of that you can't really build much more. So reviews of this town here is 4 stars. Some of these are weird. These are some weird reviews. Okay, 4 stars. Reaction time of our police department as well as fire department is impeccable. So these people have clocked the cops and the fire department. Why are you using all these services? Yeah, why are you using these services enough to know that their times are good? Number one.
Police or fire.
And fire, both of them. If you happen to be in an accident, the average police time will be there is in around less than 5 minutes. How many accidents have you been in to where there's an average time?
Why do you have an average?
I've been in 12 accidents. One took about 14 minutes. One they were there in 2, and then one they were there. So it averages out to 5 minutes, I'd say, around. Wow. 4 stars. If this area is good for anything, it's definitely going out. There's such a variety of bars. No clubs, but that doesn't mean you can't find someone to dance. All right? The area.
I want to dance with somebody.
I want to dance with somebody. Whitney Houston wrote this review right before she passed. The area seems to be decorated more towards people in their 20s to late 30s. Something for everyone.
All right.
Unless you're above your late 30s or under your 20s. Then not so much. 3 stars here. Houston weather is intense in the first place. Okay, this is going to be about weather.
Yeah.
Once you get closer to the bayous, it gets a little crazier. Don't bother fixing your hair or putting on a bunch of makeup in the summer. The humidity is going to ruin it anyways. Well, that sounds like a paradise, really. That's
But what about the town?
makeup doesn't matter. There's makeup running down your face and your hair's a mess. Who gives a shit? You're not seeing anything. You won't leave the house.
Not doing anything memorable.
No.
So there will not be any pictures taken of me like this.
Nothing. I look like Tammy Faye Baker after crying. I'm just a mess. Just pouring down my face. People here aren't used to winter, so everyone thinks they're going to freeze to death in the wet cold. What the hell is wet cold? I don't know.
I don't know.
When it's under,
but they have fucking ice storms.
Oh
there
yeah. No, it's
dangerous. What are they talking about? It's not that bad.
Well, they're saying that people think they're going to freeze to death, so they're going to freeze to death. You will freeze to death. Things to do here: the street eats party. Okay. Number 1, it says live music! ! Food trucks! ! Beer and wine! ! Get your ass down here. Free admission and parking. Just come. We don't care.
It's a street festival. We're all familiar with them.
Come on in. Bring your own. It's BYOC, though, Jimmy.
What's that?
Bring your own chair. Literally, it says that. BYOC, bring your own chair, in case you weren't aware of that nomenclature there. Nassau Bay's Street Eats Party is a family-friendly town square event with focus on community engagement and a relaxing good time. Mm-hmm. Happens twice a year, and yay. Next is the Moon Tree launch.
What?
Moon Tree.
What do we do there? Okay.
Yes, they're going to have a special moon tree planting ceremony. The trees will be planted at City Hall and some park. What this is apparently the astronauts, the seeds somebody took into space were brought back and planted and successfully grew into trees that are 75 feet tall now. So as they grew and matured, the Moon Tree Foundation was formed and started planting seeds and growing saplings. And over time, they were able to take DNA from those trees and create new offspring of moon trees.
Stupid.
It sounds very stupid.
So
the
somebody
seeds went
put
to
some
space
seeds in their pocket and went up there.
Yes, and then brought them back, and they worked still. So they were like, cool.
This is the dumbest thing ever.
So there's people
they didn't go find seeds for something elsewhere and bring them back.
If they walked around on the moon, saw some seeds lying there and took them and brought them back, that'd be amazing. Those are moon seeds.
I'd go look at those trees.
And they grew and be like, it's a moon tree. This is just some tree seeds.
I want to see those seeds.
This is a different seed.
This is stupid.
And it says they encourage families and young future astronauts to attend.
Oh, God, Jesus.
The splendor of this tree. Wow. That's insane.
It's an earth tree.
It's an earth tree. You'll love it.
Right.
So,
a moon tree.
Yeah, this is a suburb where it's a safe kind of suburb. That said, let's talk about some murder here. What do you say?
Boy, I can't wait.
Let's get into this. Okay. Oh, first of all, I have to give credit to an article because they had a lot of good information that nobody else had from Texas Monthly, and the article's called Suburban Madness by a guy named Skip Hollinsworth. So
I'm terrified.
There you go. Oh, yeah, it's fucking wild. Let's talk about this stuff. Okay. Let's talk, first of all, about a guy here. A very successful guy, actually. Okay. His name's David Harris. He's born in 1958. By the 90s, he's got a toupee working.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got a rug going on. He's a successful orthodontist, though. So it's a good rug. It's not like one of those where, Jesus, look at the fucking thing on that guy.
Can't even see the seam.
It's not one of those. It's one where you're like, wow, he's got a rug? Holy shit. Like, it's a good one. Yeah, he's got it all sewn in there. So very, very, very successful orthodontist that has a big, huge practice. Eventually, he'll have like 7 offices, and there'll be I mean,
that's got to be the most depressing thing on the planet, to be that successful and then wake up in the morning and see your bald fucking head that you can do nothing about except for weave somebody else's shit on.
Slap this thing on top of it. Just slap it on top. Just there you go. Like Seinfeld said, your little hair hat there.
I have millions of dollars, and this
is what I got. Yep, can't do it. So he's so smart, though. He graduated second in his class. In dental school. Everybody said he was charming and folksy. His favorite word that he used all the time was golly. Golly. Oh. That's what he'd say all the time.
Like him.
Well, golly. Yeah, I don't know if I want someone working on my teeth saying golly, though. I want a doctor.
Pile fan, that's all.
Yeah, I want a doctor that's serious and
Yeah.
Lost golly when they were about 9. That's what I want from a medical professional. Most people, I don't care. My mechanic, if he says golly, makes me more trustworthy, I think, in that point. I think of him as more honest, and I'm happy to give him my car,
Yeah.
HVAC guy, golly it up, pal. But medical shit, drop that golly shit and let's be professionals here. You could kill me.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't talk to me about my fucking surgery
No.
and say, golly.
Golly, that molar needs some work. No, I don't want to hear
Don't
that
say
shit.
golly while looking at my x-rays,
Nope,
motherfucker.
that's a problem for me. I don't know what it is.
Next.
Next. Maybe that's just me, though. I'm sure most people would probably make them more comfortable. For me, I'm like, listen, Chief.
You're
Drop
not wrong. Look, Gomer Pyle was a dipshit, and
Yeah.
he said golly all the time.
I just say,
don't want to-
use some medical terms I don't understand, please. That's what I'd like from you. Some expertise that I don't have. I know golly already. I got that. You tell me what you know, sir.
Yeah.
So he ends up he's married, has a daughter, and then he's divorced, and so he gets remarried later on here. Mm-hmm. So he has a wife named Clara Harris here, and that's who he marries. That's his second wife, Clara Harris, being there. She's born in 1958 also, same age. She's from Bogota, Colombia, originally.
Oh,
That's where she was
look at
born.
this.
Yep,
Yeah.
she was raised by a single widowed mother. Dad died very young. So she was one of these people who's very determined to have a better life and do some shit. So she ends up studying dentistry in Colombia before coming to the United States in the late 80s for more dental training and eventually becoming a dentist as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So your fucking dental training in Colombia amounts to bagging groceries.
exactly. It was more like a step up into the
Yeah.
there you go. So she's got red hair. She's an orthodontist, so very nice teeth too. Good smile. They said she even has like a mole on her left cheek that's very model-esque. Yeah, she looks.
Yeah.
She's very, very pretty. She was actually crowned Miss Columbia Houston in a contest after she completed her residency for dental shit at that's what they call it officially. It's a dental shit residency. Yeah. Are you in the dental shit course? Oh, okay, good. Well, that's official, right?
I'm
dental
a resident
shit
for dental shit.
shows how little college I did,
didn't
which is
know.
none. Dental shit. So she went to University of Texas Houston Dental Branch, which is where he went also, which is where David went as well. So after that, she graduates and she becomes Miss Columbia Houston. So best looking Colombian chick in Houston.
You betcha.
There you go.
As judged by a panel.
Judged by a panel. There you go. I don't know who they are, but fine. So she meets David here in 1991. They're both, same age, early 30s, 33. Yep. They both work at the Castle Dental Center in Houston. And so they meet as both dentists and,
colleagues.
He's attracted to her. He's very smart and successful and can't really tell he's wearing a rug, so she likes him. It's nice. One of his father, David's father, Gerald, said, "I remember David calling soon after he had met Clara, telling me he was completely smitten." So, and called his dad and everything about it. And golly, she's pretty. So, in 1992, after less than a year of a courtship, they get married on Valentine's Day, 1992.
Boy, that's fast.
When you know, Jimmie. When you know, you know.
Guess.
And this was less than a year after their first date. They held the reception at the Nassau Bay Hilton Hotel, which will come up again later in the story, so keep that in mind, which is about 30 miles away from Houston here. And Clara said she told one of her friends, "I found the best," meaning him. He's the best. Yeah. She said, quote, "I found the one God had reserved for me." That's right.
She makes my mole tingle.
Yep. They said that's absolutely, you got to rub it just right.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a day, they talk on the phone, always say, "I love you" at the end of the calls and all that kind of thing. I saw an article here in 1997 where they were celebrating their 4th anniversary of service in the community here, where they opened their own practice.
Oh,
this was their in 93. This was their 4th anniversary of that. And it was basically a big article in the paper to thank their patients for being there.
Supporting us.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing us your teeth.
Thanks for bringing us your fucked up fucking teeth. That's good.
Your Texas teeth.
Your Texas teeth. Or any teeth, really.
Yeah.
So 1998, they have twins.
Oh.
Twin boys. So I don't know if there was some fertilization help there or how that goes, but that's what happens a lot because they're both 40. So,
well, she's also Latin American, and
true.
Those gals are fertile, my friend.
Well, yeah, you don't even have to actually have sex with them.
No,
yeah,
no.
So you rub their arm a little bit, and they'll be like, twins. How do you like that? No, Jimmie says that because his ex-wife was
I barely touched that woman. I got 2 kids out of her.
There you go. He doesn't even remember. He doesn't think they ever consummated the marriage, but he has 2 kids. It's crazy.
It's bizarre.
So, yeah, this is kind of, they have these twins, so a lot of times that's what happens is you have the, like in vitro or whatever, they put a couple eggs and then, you end up with more than one.
Takes, right. Yeah.
You end up with more than one. So, also, David has a daughter from the first marriage who was born in like 85, and she gets along great with her too.
This guy's got laid twice. He's got 3 kids to prove.
3 kids, boom, in and out. Yep. 3 kids and a crooked rug after all that sex. He comes out of sex with a crooked rug every time.
Poor bastard.
To straighten it out. So, well, that's all right. It means he's working, Jimmie.
Yeah.
He's not sitting there still. He's working it. I'll knock my wig crooked for you, baby. So,
you ever want to rub your fingers through someone else's hair?
Yeah, come on. It's nice hair. So, Lindsay and Clara have a great relationship together. Lindsay plays violin. She's very good at it. She spends summers there after spending the school year with her mother, who moved to Ohio. So, Clara would work doing dentistry all day. She always got home in time to cook dinner, they said. They have a big, beautiful house and a nice, thriving practice and everything like that. One of her coworkers said, for Clara, it was always David, David, David. I used to tell people that I wished I could be able to love my husband in the same way that Clara loved David.
Well, what's his fucking problem?
Hopefully, I used to tell people, hopefully her husband wasn't one of those people. Jesus Christ.
What a terrible thing to say out loud.
Unbelievable. That's in the paper she said that. I used to tell people her husband standing next to her like, fuck did you just say?
I wish I could love this piece of shit.
Fuck's your problem? I thought things were going well. What the fuck, man?
Oh, that's the most insulting thing ever read in the newspaper.
We just went to Acapulco for 2 weeks. I thought things were
so
going well.
Money.
This is... We're gonna have a talk when we get home. All right, this is bullshit. Yeah, fuck that.
I'm never leaving the bedroom without my rug askew ever again.
Yeah, this is bullshit, man. So Clara loves her practice, likes being successful, likes her family, loves David and all that. She's not real materialistic. There's only one extravagance that she really loves, and that's her car. She's got a Mercedes that she really loves. So she bought this Mercedes, and she thought that was nice. She thought it was a symbol of all that she had accomplished.
Hell yeah.
It's an actual physical manifestation of accomplishment.
Tangible hard work. Absolutely.
Yeah, that feels good for people. So David, very loyal as well. They're very loyal to each other. They love each other. One of his coworkers said, quote, I'm not exaggerating this. He just didn't look twice at another woman. They said he never went out drinking with the friends. He never, would talk about, porn he watched or anything with his buddies or anything. He was just very like, oh yeah, my wife. They also together they went to the Shady Crest Baptist Church all the time, where David played the drums in the church's contemporary Christian soft rock group. Oh my God.
That's the only band you can play the drums in as a man who has somebody else's hair.
Yeah. Well, you can wear a hat back there, I guess.
I suppose.
Put a fedora on or something.
Yeah.
If you ever
wear somebody else's hair to your gig.
If I'm ever if they need to torture me to get information out of me, no need to waterboard me, no need to do anything. Just put on contemporary Christian soft rock, and in about probably 2 minutes or so before the first chorus hits,
I'll tell you everything.
I'll tell you everything you want to know. They sang songs like Sing Hallelujah and You Make Me Complete. Those are some of their songs that they made there. So he is also doing all sorts of shit with the practice, tons of braces, but he's making tons of money by 2000. He's making as much as $35,000 a month from
Holy
Space Center Orthodontics, which is the name of his company there. He buys a piece of land in an upscale shopping center so they could build a huge 6,000 square foot new office.
Oh, boy.
So make that nice. And once the building's finished, Clara's going to move her practice there as well so they can work in the same office together.
It's beautiful.
They've worked this all out. This is the American dream, this type of thing. You got your family, your own business, and it's all good.
Fucking $500,000 a year.
Enter Belinda Gail Thompson Bridges to the story here. Gail, she goes by. Gail Bridges is what she goes by. She is described in the Texas Monthly as a petite, stylish 39-year-old mother of three. So,
yep.
She's 2 years out of a divorce.
Oh,
just divorced her husband, Steven.
Tiny and hot.
We'll talk about here. They had a great life. They lived in a nice, great gated community. Everything was wonderful. All perfect. She's known as, listen to this, quote, she had flawless alabaster skin, eyes as brown as almonds, and a pixie-ish Dorothy Hamill-like haircut. Compared with other neighborhood wives, her breast implants were not overly large.
Okay.
A lot of wives with wives with fake tits in this neighborhood. It's a gated fake tit neighborhood. Yeah, it's one of those.
And
so
she looks mad gettable while being incredibly hot.
That's kind of the vibe she's giving off here. And she's also fresh off a divorce here. Yeah. And fresh off a wild divorce. Let's talk about Gail's divorce. Started in 1999. Her husband, Steve, claimed that she had been carrying on a lesbian relationship with her best friend, Julie Knight, who was married to a guy named Chuck, who was a software specialist for an aerospace company. And then Chuck made the same allegations about Julie, and both of their divorces were, my wife's a lesbian who's cheating on me with her friend.
Who gives a fuck?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
They never, we'll check it out. They never presented any definitive evidence in court that proved any lesbian relationship here. But she claimed, both wives claimed in their suits that the tales were invented by their husbands, and they were only saying this to divert attention away from their own improper conduct, including abuse of alcohol and prescription pills, and an extramarital affair carried on by Chuck with one of Gail and Julie's close friends. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Okay.
Charges that they deny. So,
Okay.
a private investigator will enter into this thing of pure coincidence that she ends up in these people's orbit quite a bit. Her name is Bobby Baca. And she's a 43-year-old woman that owns a Blue Moon Investigations, and she does a lot of, spying for couples. Yeah. Is this person cheating on me and shit like that? Yeah. So Chuck Knight, Julie, Gail's would-be lesbian lover's wife, quote unquote. Right. Yeah. Chuck said that he needed someone to watch his wife Julie that night. Julie and her best friend Gail. Chuck said that his wife lived a neighborhood away from Gail and her husband Steve, and the couples were close friends. They went to the same church and all that shit. The boys played on the same soccer team. They hung out every New Year's Eve. But for the last year, Chuck said, neighbors started coming to the two of them, Chuck and Steve, and asking, why did Gail and Julie spend so much time together? What kind of nosy neighbors are these?
Yeah. What?
None of your business. How's that? Get back in your house.
You're destroying them. You're destroying 2 marriages with your bullshit gossip. Stop it. Even if it is happening, who gives a shit?
Gee, they seem to be spending an awful lot of time together. Like, you nosy twats. Go back in your houses.
Good for them.
Yeah. They go to lunch together, taking tennis lessons, sitting around just visiting at each other's houses.
Just, having a friendship.
Just being friends, eating meals and doing things together. That's just weird.
They're probably fucking.
Jesus. They would think we were gay as hell. We go out to eat together on the road. We hang out.
An Italian cock out swallow.
My God. They would be like, these two. Holy shit. The rump rangers these two are. My goodness.
The guy's going on trips with the man.
Look at him. They went to a nice restaurant together and ate lunch. Jesus Christ. It was
sitting on a patio in San Francisco together.
It was a decent place by the water. They had a shrimp cocktail, these two. Cocktail. Get it?
We
get it. We all get it. So they said, this is all. While your husbands are at work, they're doing that. Yeah, that's what housewives do together.
Yeah.
They hang out and do shit.
Right.
And, so Chuck said he began to have suspicions after watching Julie and Gail hugging. He said, I didn't like it. They hugged, and they were like, So, as time passed, wow.
Divorce!
They went to the bathroom together. That's what women do. Yeah.
They went to the same destination and rode in the same car.
They're fingering each other while they pee. I'm sure that's what's happening. I don't know what they do in there, but something. So they began to grow very suspicious, though, Chuck and Steve, and they decided their wives must be lesbians. That's the only explanation for this, which is a little myopic, I think. So, but still,
worse off to not be insanely driven nuts by the thought of seeing that. You're just being a dick about it.
Yeah. He's not even trying to maneuver it into his own bedroom. He's trying to.
Not trying to stand in the corner and tug.
No, nothing.
He's trying to get a divorce over it.
Jesus. So Chuck tells Bobby, the private investigator, that he and Steve would be watching the children that night so their wives could go shopping at the Baybrook Mall for a couple hours. Quote, shopping. Mm-hmm. And so you better follow them and see what they really do. So according to Bobby's notes, Chuck said to her, this is fucking amazing. Oh, my God. I've been waiting to say this quote. Quote, but I bet they will go to a hotel, or they might just pull over on the side of the highway to do their business. Gail has a boob job, and my wife will not be able to wait to touch those puppies.
The projection is too much.
Oh, my God. I want to touch. My wife really wants.
Yeah.
And it's the late 90s, so I feel like he's been watching WWE and listening to Jerry Lawler say puppies over and over again. I feel like that's where this is coming from. Not going to be able to wait to touch those puppies. Although
Chuck said that, or Larry?
Chuck said that, not
Chuck
Steve.
Said it. Yeah.
Although
Steve, right.
I feel like in Texas they call everything puppies.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? Anything. Just if you have steaks on the grill, like, when are you taking them puppies off the grill? I feel like it's one of those.
drive by the dealership. All the new trucks are out. I want to go take a look at one of them puppies.
Yeah, one of them puppies are out there. Absolutely. Oh, them new F-150s are looking good. So here's the stakeout. Let's find out what.
Oh God, I can't wait.
Sultry, steamy, hot lesbian behavior
on the side of the fucking freeway.
Yeah, just couldn't even wait. Couldn't wait. Just 69 and right in the back.
Throwing 2 digits in her while sucking a titty.
Just behind the second row of seats in the SUV back there. Just fucking enough room for the two of them. Can't wait to get those titties in her mouth. So
Jesus.
the PI drove to the night house and waited for Gail and Julie to drive off in Gail's Lincoln Navigator. She said she saw Julie, described her as a curvy blonde with blue eyes, wearing blue jeans and a red Tommy Hilfiger top.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she's looking okay. Gail came out in blue jeans and a pink top, and they drove to the mall, like they said they were going to drive to. They drove to the mall, got out promptly, and started shopping.
Had some Panda Express or some Aunt Annie's and wandered the mall.
They shared pretzels. They shared those pretzel bites. I saw it. Their fingers touched when they went for the salty one. So
Orange Julius with one straw. These fucking dirtbags.
God damn it. So Bobby follows, gets out of the car too. She just looks like another lady shopping.
Sure.
She said they went to 9 West Shoe Store.
Yeah.
And they were there. Bobby walked in and sat near them and tried on some shoes herself to, blend in and listen to the two women talk. They talked. They laughed loudly before heading out of the mall. And then, you know what they did then, Jimmy? It's nefarious. They drove through McDonald's to get drinks. You filthy lesbians. Filthy lesbians. Yeah, clearly this is all very lesbian behavior.
Chuck's got to feel like a piece of shit, right?
What a complete idiot. This is so stupid.
He had his wife tailed to 9 West and McDonald's.
At the mall, which is exactly where she said she was going, with the person who she said she was going there with.
Unbelievable.
So the next day, Bobby tells Chuck that they acted like Wilma and Betty from the Flintstones. She said that was the best way to describe them. Just like a couple of pals. She said there was nothing lesbian-like at all.
Yeah.
In their behavior. The physically closest they got was when they were in the car together and, sitting in seats next to each other. Right. Otherwise, they were just normal. So Bobby asked her to, quote, inflame that part of the report that they were in the car. Maybe they touched each other a little bit or something to, help his case along.
Right.
And Chuck says that he never asked her that, and he also says that he never referred to Gail's breasts as, quote, puppies. Never.
Please don't tell Steve I said that.
Never referred to him as those puppies. I'll tell you that right now. Wow. That's amazing.
He regrets it so much.
No. So she said, I don't know if I can do that. That's not really honest. And then she also said, quote, even if two women hug or kiss, it doesn't mean they're sexually active with one another. Not at all. Right. That's just not how women are. And Chuck hung up on her. And so Bobby filed the case away.
Conversation.
Yeah, and moved on. So then mid-July 1999, Julie and Gail show up in her office.
Oh?
And said, we both filed for divorces from each other. They filed in the same week. Yeah. And talked about all the, just regular stories from why their marriages sucked.
Sure.
And they said that their husbands have been threatening to expose them in court as lesbians, which they said they weren't. They thought that maybe these guys might be using this to try to force them into out-of-court settlements that would, leave them with less than their fair share in a divorce, right. Which is obviously what they're doing here. Julie says she wants her husband tracked to see what he might be hiding. Gail does not hire Bobby. She backs out at the last minute, saying she wants to try to keep the peace between her and her husband during the divorce. Maybe she can work it out more amicably. So Chuck gets tailed, though, and the investigator begins to notice that he was visiting the house of a friend down the street and that another woman was showing up at that house right around that time. He had like a rendezvous spot for fucking
I'm going over to Ted's house, but over at Ted's house, Martha shows up.
Yeah, it's allegedly. So Bobby's investigator caught Chuck and this woman flying to Tampa together for a weekend trip. So we know it's filthy if they're in Tampa.
Yeah.
Because everything in Tampa is filthy.
doing dirty shit.
They're doing dirty shit, and she's going to come home with bruises all over her legs, as we know, somehow.
They magically appeared.
The mark of Tampa. So the woman was Lori, this woman named Lori, who was a part-time baton twirling instructor. I don't know what the demand for a baton twirling instructor is, but apparently it's big.
The answer is unemployed.
Unemployed, yeah. And she's also married.
Okay.
Her husband is a guy named Steve Wells, who is a contractor and all this shit. So this is, yeah. So now we got all sorts of people here. Laurie, Julie, Gail.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Clara here. So the three women and their husbands all knew each other. They were all they had been good friends, the couples had at one point. Even Gail had met Laurie at Lamaze class and invited her to church, and that's how they all met at church.
Wow.
So they would all hang out, and but they were all getting divorced after a while. Everybody was accusing everyone else of sexual misbehavior and lesbianism and this and that. And
this is why you just don't have friends.
Jesus, they're all calling each other. At one point, they got in a shouting match at the mall. This is trash now at this point. You can't have that kind of behavior.
No.
Shouting at the mall? No.
Your parents, for Christ's sake.
You're scaring teenagers that work there. They work there to get away from their arguing parents. Right. Leave them alone.
You're scaring a young girl with a septum piercing. Knock it off.
Please. Who's trying to figure out how many pieces of sesame chicken to put into or orange chicken to put into a 2-item order at Panda Express when you order them both orange chicken. So Julie got her house vandalized. She blamed Chuck and Lori and Steve. Chuck would follow Julie in his car. During one episode, Julie says he stuck his middle finger out the driver's side window while she took a picture of it. This is what we're going into here.
Oh my God.
Gail and Julie accused Chuck and Steve of tapping their phone conversations, then splicing the conversations together so that the wives would appear to be swapping sexually suggestive comments, such as about activities that were originally eating ice cream or going to eat food and shit like that.
They're doing Z Morning Radio Zoo shit to each other.
Wow. Julie and Gail went to the district attorney's office, and both men were indicted on felony charges of illegal wiretapping at that point. So later on, the charges against Steve were dropped, but I don't know what ended up happening with the charges against Chuck, because I think he was the guy that actually knew how to do that shit. So after her divorce in 2000, Gail, with the good puppies there, she moved into a... she moves into a less opulent home, smaller home, and starts looking for work. She has to find work because, you got to do that after you get a divorce. So, oh, by the way, Gail and Julie appeared on a segment of the Sally Jesse Raphael show in 2001 wearing wigs and dark glasses.
Talking about their divorces?
Talking about how their former husbands tried to portray them as lesbians. They went on Sally Jesse with her big glasses and everything. So...
That's amazing.
This is incredible. Gail gets hired by Space Center Orthodontics, which is Clara and David's.
David, right?
Their business
orthodontistry,
there, orthodontistry. In August 2001, she's making about $1,800 a month, so she wasn't making that much money, but she did like the job, and she got along great with old Dr. Harris there, David. And one of the co-workers said, quote, I remember watching Gail bend down in front of David to get some papers out of a filing cabinet. But instead of bending at the knees like everyone else, she bent at the waist so that her butt would stick up. And I thought, uh-oh. Uh-oh. She said that also because it was easy to tell because maybe David's not paying attention, but then she saw his toupee pop up and go back down for a second, like it was
like a Three Stooges,
like a little pop, like one of those, a little poof. She was like, "Oh,
spun around,
whoop, 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 whoop," and it did one of those, and they're like, "Whoa." So then Gail started mentioning to her friend that David was taking her out to lunch now and then.
Yeah.
By February 2002, he asked her if she would like to have lunch at Perry's restaurant. And by April, they were fucking.
Oh, boy.
Gail and David. Now, David's brother, Gerald, who is a psychiatrist or psychologist who teaches at the University of Houston, and also has an office in the office here, installed a video camera in the office to identify ways to improve patient-staff interactions. But someone kept turning the camera off so you wouldn't see scenes of David coming up to flirt with Gail. Wonder who was doing that. So
I wonder if it was David.
They started meeting at the Nassau Bay Hilton, where David and Clara had their wedding reception. And, nice views. They overlook the water.
Do that.
No, at least get your own joint. Jesus Christ.
Christ, man.
Yep. So she told her friends that she, he said that he was only staying in his marriage for business and the children.
What the fuck happened, man? You were in love with her.
Everything was great. Puppies, Jimmy. Puppies.
Yeah.
Puppies are a draw. It's a strong. That's how dumb we are. This whole thing, and we're just like, pair of tits. At least if it was like, because this happens sometimes, you'll see like a woman might like a guy because he's very rich or something, and on our stories anyway, and blah, blah, blah. At least that's your whole life is different and changed and better. Right. He's like, I can touch boobs that I like. I'm going to throw everything down the toilet. Squeezy, squeezy.
Look at them. There they are.
Look at them. There they are. Wow, that is incredible. Having a penis is wild, man. It really is an adventure.
It really is annoying.
It's an adventure. It's an adventure. So, wow.
This idiot.
She told her friends that David said he loved her and all that kind of thing, but people didn't think that David was really in love with her. One of the friends said, quote, if anything, he was infatuated with her for a while, nothing more. He was never going to leave his wife. That's what the friend said. Over the 4th of July weekend that year, 2002, the Harris family, Clara and David, took a vacation to Jamaica. Oh, yeah, the kids and everything. A few of his coworkers said
Celebrate America in Jamaica?
Let's do it. Let's get the hell out of here. That's what we're doing. So I guess it's hot, though, in the 4th of July in Texas. Might as well go to another hot place, I guess.
And it's summer in Bahamas, and that's fucking amazing there.
Better breezes probably. Yeah. So friends and the coworkers were like, maybe this will be the thing that'll spark their marriage back. This will be good. Yeah. So someone suggested that he fire Gail. Like, you should fire Gail. Yeah. And he said he loved Clara. He doesn't want to end the marriage, but he's emotionally involved with Gail, and he can't fire her. So July 17th, 2002, they're back from Jamaica and everything. Claire knows nothing of this affair, by the way, at this point. Clara, not Claire. Yeah. She knows nothing about this affair. No one had told her about it, even though everyone in the office knows about it. So David, knowing that too many people know about it at this point, it's eventually going to get back to Clara. That morning, he sits her down and tells her about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tells her that
Tells Clara?
Yep. Tells her they had lunches at Perry's and they have spent nights at the Hilton where we had our wedding reception.
Oh, God, Jesus.
Clara, of course, freaks out, obviously, cries, and all this type of thing. He told one of his friends, and then he even told this to she said, why? And she said, David told her that Gail was petite was a perfect fit to sleep with, holding her all night. That's what Clara said that he told her.
You can't say that.
No.
She's not you. That's why I fucked her. That's what you just told her.
This was, by the way, at an airport sports bar. He told her this.
In public.
And she took notes on a napkin, by the way, while this is going on.
Well done, Clara.
Notes on a napkin. Just like, but not for like legal purposes.
No. Just so that she could remember all this shit.
She's just very studious. So Clara said she was stunned about all of this. She said, quote, I couldn't believe he could sleep holding her all night because we had never slept like that. Never in 10 years. So that was a low blow.
A dagger, yeah.
According to the way Clara's notes here, David seemed fixated on Gail's breast size.
Yes.
He said he gave his wife higher marks. He sat there and compared the two of them. You're like this, but she's like this. You have this, but she takes it in the face. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's different needs being fulfilled here. That's what he sat there saying.
Until it stops throbbing. She keeps it in her face.
Yeah. He basically graded their whole bodies in front of her.
Fucking real.
She said that he gave Clara much higher marks for prettier hands and feet and prettier eyes.
But what about in between there?
But
you
tits,
son of a bitch.
No contest. She said, quote, he told me I would love you when you get your boobs to be just around, when you get your boobs to be just around the house waiting for me. Because he wanted her to quit the dentistry practice and just be at home with her boobs waiting for him.
God.
So the next day and the next couple days, she starts scheduling appointments. Not with lawyers,
Clara.
Not with lawyers, but for liposuction, breast enlargement, went to the tanning salon, joined a fitness center, did all this in 4 days. So then they went to the office, the dental office, where Gail and where our Clara confronts Gail, telling her that she's fired and she can't ever come back.
She should fuck a guy with great hair. That's what she should do.
Just a beautiful head of fucking hair. Just
fuck a guy with
ugly
Fabio
as shit.
Hair.
Just a homeless guy with a huge bush of hair. He doesn't have two dimes to rub together, but look at that head.
So much better hair than you.
I just like to hold on to it while he pounds me. So she said she called Gail so many times, ranting at her about what kind of woman she was, that Julie Knight reported to the police that Clara was making terroristic threats on Gail's life. One of Clara's friends said that she only called Gail, though. Clara only called Gail to thank her for opening her eyes. Mm-hmm. So Clara ends up, her friend said she looked terrible in the days after this. She stopped eating. She lost 10 pounds.
Oh, Jesus.
She put a $5,000 down payment on lipo and breast implants, hired a personal trainer, went to the tanning salon, telling everyone she's going to get David back. She's going to win him back. This is terrible. Jesus Christ. So
that is so awful.
The office manager around at his office, Susan Hansen, said that Clara scheduled all this shit, told her about it. She said Clara was shattered. She was humiliated. She was devastated. Everything in her life had come to a stop. Yeah, that's wild. But she told the office manager one day, quote, we're going to make it.
Oh, Clara.
So she's going to make it. She said, I told Clara Harris she needed to protect her marriage, not to ignore anything out of the ordinary, pay attention to David, maybe get counseling. I wanted her to be able to start seeing the things I had seen, that he's staring at this broad's tits in the office. So then they sit down, David and Clara, as a couple, and tell everyone they know about this shit. They sit down with his teenage daughter, who certainly doesn't need to know about this, and explain it. They sit down with his parents and tell them about it for some reason. What business is it of theirs?
But, Dad, you should have seen these puppies.
These puppies were, and he took his dad aside. David asked everyone for forgiveness, and David's father said that was the time when the healing had started to begin. As part of the healing process, David told Clara he wanted to sit down with Gail at a restaurant and tell her that he was sorry, what happened wasn't her fault, and that, he needs to be a man and go back to his marriage here. Clara said, okay, fine. You know what? If that's we're making amends, let's make amends. So she did tell David that if he stuck by the marriage, he could continue to be friends with Gail. He just couldn't, have an affair with her.
She's the sweetest woman
She's very
on the
nice.
planet.
She's a very nice woman. Wow. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank. Because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmy's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us, be fashionable, get in there with Quince, indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
But as it comes up the day that he's supposed to have dinner with Gail, Clara starts to worry, and she ends up looking through the phone book and finding a private investigator and calling them, and it's Bobby.
Of course it's Bobby.
So she explained that her husband's going to meet his mistress at a restaurant to tell her that he can't be with her, and he wants an investigator to get close enough to overhear what was said so she can know what's going on. So she then starts chatting about Gail to Bobby. She describes Gail as evil.
Yeah.
She said that she had heard around town that this woman had a lesbian lover, and that these 2 lesbians might have come up with a plot for one of them to seduce David so they could get his money and then run away and spend it at, craft fairs and
buy Subarus together
on armpit hair wax and things like that. That's what she said. So
wow.
July 24th, 2002 is this meeting. Okay. David doesn't go to Perry's though.
Where's
he drives to the Hilton.
Oh no. He's going to do one last romp
where he meets Gail inside at a restaurant. The investigator, it's a young lady named Dubeck. She couldn't get close enough to hear what they were saying, but David, one of Gail's friends said David became distraught and told her he wasn't ready to end it and that he still loved Gail and he could arrange it that they could still see each other. So he just wanted to keep the affair going.
Oh, Jesus.
Gail told him she wanted no part of the relationship while David was still married. Then Gail got up and walked out to her car. David followed her. They talked to her for a few minutes outside. He sweet-talked her, somehow won her over, and they ended up coming back in and getting a room.
Oh, God.
Room 604, to be exact. He paid in cash and used an assumed name.
Of course he did.
Like everyone who's up to no good might do here. So Dubeck, the investigator, went back to her car, positioned it so she could see the front of the hotel and David's car in the parking lot, and pulled out her video camera to capture it on tape when they come out and all that. She said that's what Bobby always says, to get them all on video. That's what you need here. So Dubeck called her friend up, who came over to hang out with her, brought some fast food. They're eating, eating Arby's in the car or whatever, videotaping shit.
Well, this guy's up there doing the worst.
At the same time, Clara and Lindsay, David's daughter, the 16-year-old at this point, the Dubeck and her friend are sitting there having a chat in the car. Clara and her stepdaughter pull up to the Hilton, and Clara couldn't. She hired someone to come do this, but instead she came. So she asked Lindsay to go along with her to search for, and we're going to look for your dad. They had gone to Perry's and they weren't there, so then they went to the restaurant, they'd gone to another restaurant where David had sometimes taken Gail. Then they went to Gail's house, couldn't find anything. So Clara called Blue Moon, got through to Bobby's husband, and said, I need to know where my husband is. So they called Dubeck and they found out. So then she came to the hotel.
Oh, God.
So Clara and Lindsay arrive to the hotel. They spot Gail's navigator out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Clara drives up to the car, gets out, smashes one of the taillights, and scratches it with her keys.
Very Texas.
Very Texas. Very, very country song here.
Yeah.
So Dubeck was looking at David's car, never saw Clara do this because she was just looking at David's car because that's what they came in. Clara and Lindsay then parked in another area of the parking lot. Then they went to the front desk, asked for David Harris's room. An employee said, we don't have a David Harris. So Clara said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Both of us will call your dad from their cell phones, me and you, Lindsay, and tell him that one of the twins is sick and begged him to come home. Okay? So David tells both he and Gail, or both tells them that he and Gail went to Papadou instead of Perry's, and that he's on his way home now.
Okay.
A few minutes later, elevator doors pop open.
Ding.
David and Gail pop out. Clara and Lindsay are standing in the lobby.
Oh, Jesus.
And ding is the right way to put it, I would say. Ding is definitely the right way to put it, like a bell between rounds of a fight.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, because this gets real crazy real fucking quick. David doesn't even get a chance to say anything. A witness remembers Clara lunging at Gail, screaming, quote, you bitch, he's my husband, then slapping at Gail and tearing her shirt off of her.
Oh, my.
Yeah, this turned into a WWE angle now. This is
or
puppies, divas tearing each other's shirts off. This is like very 1999 WWE Attitude Era shit here. So she also screamed, this is Dr. David Harris, and he's fucking this woman right here. She's screaming at the lobby. So everybody knows. Then Lindsay jumps in, the daughter, and begins hitting her father as well, saying, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Very teenage girl.
Yeah. Imagine, oh my God. Hotel employees then try to intervene and break this up, because it's the lobby of a nice hotel.
Lobby of the Marriott.
But Clara keeps grabbing at Gail, and at one point they were, she and Gail, Lindsay and Gail, were both pulling on opposite ends of Gail's shirt like they were trying to pull it off like a tag team. Finally, David put his hand on his wife's head here, on Clara's head, and shoved her to the floor. Like stiff-armed her down.
Yeah.
Not a punch, but like placed his hand down and like shoved her away.
Definitely inappropriate.
Definitely inappropriate, but this is a melee. This is like a Heathcliff fight with just a cloud of dust and paws coming out every once in a while. A hotel employee then quickly escorts Gail out of the lobby doors to her car, the Lincoln Navigator, which is in one of the parking lots.
Without a taillight.
Seems like all is good now, right?
Yeah.
Hotel employees then walked Clara and Lindsay back to the Mercedes in the other parking lot and said, please leave. You've brawled in the...
Don't come back.
Yeah. Clara starts up the car, and she guns it toward the parking area where David is standing with Gail.
Oh, God.
The Mercedes hits just barely, glances off the Navigator, but hits David before he can get out of the way.
Oh, shit.
This shoots him 25 feet across into the air and across the lot. He lands 25 feet away. Oh, yeah. Boom. Popped him, right? Witnesses could hear Lindsay screaming while this is going on because, she's in the car and they just hit her dad. They saw her door open and she put her feet on the ground trying to get out, but then Clara gunned the car again
Oh, God.
at David and hits him again. They said the Mercedes bounced twice as the front tire, like by the front tires, and then the back tires rolled over him. So it was like
Lifted
boom, boom,
the
boom,
front end.
and then
Wow.
finally went over him, bounced twice before it went over him, totally ran over him. Then she turned the car around
Oh, God.
and gunned it again and drove over him again.
Oh, my.
Then she did a wide turn, did a 180, and gunned it again before hitting him a third time.
Holy shit.
Hitting and running over with this car 3 times. So, then she comes to a stop. Imagine you're this private investigator who was watching this. This is not what you
Just saw the
expected.
whole thing. Yeah.
Not only saw the whole thing, fucking filmed the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's insane. So she said, this is insane. She had, hold on, I got to grab my video camera. And she was like, oh, you can hear the women in the car, the 2 investigators saying, oh, my God, as he's flying through the air.
Holy shit.
Then, according to witnesses, Lindsay finally gets out of the car once they come to a stop, runs around to the driver's side of the Mercedes and punches Clara in the face through the window. She then collapses on the ground sobbing, Lindsay.
Yeah, I imagine. She watched this from the passenger seat.
Yeah, telling her not to, please.
Yeah.
So then Clara gets out of the car and stands there dazed for a minute, they said. Then she walks over to her husband and just stares at him. Walks over to David's dead body now and stares at him. She killed him with the car. And then she starts to sob as well. So the police arrive, and by then she was cradling David in her arms, begging him to breathe, saying, I'm so sorry, David, I love you, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh, Clara.
Yeah, it's insane. One of the other hotel people there at the desk clerk said that he heard the sound of a car speeding and cackling as Clara Harris headed in their direction. She was laughing. He said I could hear her laughing because the windows were open.
Yeah.
She said that Clara Harris jumped the median, ran over his body, circled the lot, and ran over him again. Then she put the car in reverse, backed up, and ran over him a third time. That's what he saw. So she's arrested, obviously.
Yeah.
She's released on $30,000 bail.
Is that right?
Which is very low.
Seems it.
Yeah, she's released. She said it was an accident. That's her official explanation and defense. The media, the New York Post calls her mad wife at the wheel is the big headline. English tabloids called her the driller killer.
Okay.
My goodness. Gail goes into seclusion here because the media is all over her. They find out that she was on Sally Jesse Raphael, and that blows the fuck up. And
boy.
Videotapes are everywhere. My husband spies on me. It was the title of all these articles, and it's a lot. The Houston Chronicle ran a thing saying, quote, bisexual triangle led to car slay of hubby. That's the New York Post, not the Houston Chronicle. No, well, that's a headline, though. I mean, you're going to go, what's that now? Just to figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah.
At the trial, they said the prosecutor wants to prove that, she did this on purpose with rage and everything. Right. He said she turned her $70,000 vehicle into a 4,000-pound murder weapon. Okay. That's right. 20-minute opening, though, her lawyer said that she desperately wanted to keep her family together and bring her husband back home. She went through all this stuff. She put down money for breast implants. She felt terrible, and she didn't know what she was doing. There's a certain statute here in the state that gives you where the jury can judge that the thing you did was in, quote, sudden passion.
Okay.
So you can be found guilty of murder and not be required to be sentenced under the regular murder statute sentencing because if it's a sudden passion case, they can lower it a lot. Okay. So she's in court, still wearing her wedding ring in court.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot. So they said that the restaurant manager testified from the hotel, and they said if looks could kill, then looks could kill. It would have killed her. It would have killed him, and it sent shivers through my spine. She peeled rubber. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So everybody said that he was a good guy. Otherwise, Lindsay testifies and says, quote, she stepped on the accelerator and went straight for him. He was really scared. He was trying to get away, and he couldn't. Gail testifies as well, saying that she believed that he had an open marriage and it was okay, and didn't realize that this was all going on like this. She said, that's what I was told. The defense tries to say that the Mercedes turning radius and other evidence indicates that she hit him only once. Her lawyers also called Gail a homewrecker and said that Clara had a marriage made in heaven and she was just trying to keep it that way. That's all. Yeah. She's just a poor lady here. So the prosecutors, though, using science, film of the event, and blood stains and forensics,
and eyewitness statements,
and plenty of eyewitnesses, reframe the whole thing and say, no, that's not what happened. Officially, Officer Rolando Saenz, who's an expert he's one of the collision experts here. Yeah. He said that the turning radius was possible. Also said that it's possible to make tighter turns by getting the back end of the car to skid as you make a left to drift, basically. Right. He said he also pointed to separate and distinct blood stains on the underside of the car as evidence that Harris was run over at least 2 times and possibly more, scientifically. Yeah. That's what he sees. Clara gets on the stand, too.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Her defense attorney had begged her not to fucking get on the stand.
Don't say anything.
She gets on the stand. When the trial breaks for lunch, the defense attorney goes out in the hallway and has to get taken to the hospital for what he calls combined effects of stress and the flu. And maybe if I stop, I can convince her to not testify when I come back. So they talked to Clara. Clara on there said that, quote, I couldn't believe he could sleep holding her all night and all that kind of shit. She said, I signed up for liposuction. I put a deposit down on tits. I got it all, man. I tried. I have notes with these napkins of what he told me was wrong with me.
Whole mommy makeover. I was going to do everything better.
I was doing it all. She had an hour and a half, she testified, and she said that they said, how did Gail match up? And she said, quote, she let him do whatever he wanted to do. And I was always the one planning things and kind of being the forceful one. And Gail was more easygoing. So that's what she thinks. That's why she thinks that he liked her better. Uh-huh. She said that she veered around the Navigator toward the median within the hotel parking lot. And then things got fuzzy, she said. Quote, I think I closed my eyes. After that, I didn't know who was driving. She said everything seemed like a dream.
It's all real red.
Yeah, all real red. February 14th, 2003, Valentine's Day and their 11th wedding anniversary.
Oh, my God.
She is found guilty of murder.
Unbelievable.
Guilty of murder.
11 years to the day.
To the day. 9 women and 3 men on the jury there. And guilty of murder, but they also find that she acted in sudden passion.
Yeah.
Which rather than being, in Texas, murder's kind of a big deal. Rather than being that, her sentencing can go anywhere from 2 years to life.
Oh.
If her sentence is under 10 years, her lawyers are asking for probation. Oh. They said no jail time.
Yeah.
Her lawyer said she's been a law-abiding citizen throughout her life. As a result of this verdict, will no longer have a dental practice because she loses her license because it's a felony. She is an excellent candidate for community supervision. She'll be out and be miserable with no job. I think that's what we need.
The only person in danger is gone now.
His parents support it.
Really?
David's parents, Gerald and Mildred, support it. They said, our motivation stems from one word, forgiveness. This tragedy was a very strong blow against our family. We feel like a member of our family has erred, and we forgive that. We don't feel Clara intended to kill David. Wow. So the judge, let's see what they decide here. Will
she
hit
him with the Mercedes 3 times.
You, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck off. 20 years. She gets 20.
Okay.
She got 20 for that. She's very upset about that, though.
I'm sure.
David's parents said they were upset, too, because now the sons have no parents at all. Right. Lindsay sues Clara.
Is that right?
In civil court, yeah.
Oh, to be the sole, yeah. Okay, good move.
She sues her. She said that, I know, she said on the stand, Lindsay said she's attempted suicide 4 times since her father's death from seeing that. And in court, Clara screamed out, I'm sorry, Lindsay. I'm so sorry, baby. She screamed out.
It's not your baby.
That's not, yeah. So 2005, Clara's in prison.
Yeah.
And she gives an interview with the Houston Chronicle. And she said that a week after, she told everyone, I didn't know what David even died of. And she was just talking about prison life.
Oh, it was his head got bounced underneath the undercarriage of Mercedes over 3 times.
She meant she didn't know she hit him with a car. She didn't even know he got run over by a car.
Okay.
She said that she hopes to be able to visit with Lindsay, her stepdaughter, at some point. She really wants to. She said they have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and breakfast is at 3:30 a.m. So she said that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
2007, Mildred and Gerald Harris, David's parents, Gerald Harris, they file a civil suit for $5 million against her.
Really?
Yep. I guess because you can file against her insurance, probably, her insurance company.
Yeah.
So they and they have to raise these kids now. So
right.
Yeah, they filed a civil suit. During it, she was weeping, Clara, screaming out, "I'm sorry, Millie, I'm so sorry," to his mom while she was on the stand. Mildred is testifying against her, and Mildred described in detail seeing her son just a couple hours before he was run over and all that kind of thing. And yeah, she said, "I was grieving and praying. I just couldn't stand seeing him." And she described her husband breaking down and crying. And they said Clara just had her head on the table, just miserable. She testified, but she said she still loves her daughter-in-law, Mildred said, but I don't love what happened. She says, though, she has continued to correspond with Clara, even though the lawsuit's pending and everything. She's continued to talk to her about the kids. Clara takes the fifth on the stand.
Is that right? That's
she takes, yeah, that's what her attorney told her to do. Their attorney said because it's a civil suit. In a criminal suit, you can't say they're hiding behind the Fifth Amendment. Not allowed to do that. In a civil suit, you can say they're hiding behind the Fifth Amendment. You're allowed to do that. So they do. They say she's hiding behind the Fifth Amendment, and they repeatedly said she fucking ran him over because he was having an affair. So the verdict comes out, and she is found obviously negligent, and is told to pay $3.75 million
Holy.
to the parents. They called it an equitable decision. They said, we had the opportunity to tell the story of what a good man our son was, and now the door is closed. So
all she had to do was divorce him.
That's it. That's all. And that's what the jury forewoman said. She could have stopped, and she didn't stop. She kept running him over. That's all. So she's in prison. 2018, Clara is released on parole.
Oh, my God.
She's let out because she has a 20-year sentence. So a lot of times if you keep her the whole 20, then you can't watch her at all afterwards. But if you let her out 5 years early, at least you have her on parole at that point. And if she fucking kills somebody else, you can get her back in real quick.
Yeah, sure.
But 2023, this year, just about 2 months ago, Clara's parole is over. Her 20 years is up. Wow. And she is a free and clear woman walking around out there as of very recently, as of a couple months ago.
Do not cheat on that woman.
Don't. Actually, you can cheat on her, but then once she catches you or once you confess to it and you say you're ending it, fucking end it. She'll get her tits done. She doesn't care.
Yeah, she'll do whatever you want.
She's cool. Like, fuck, man. Wow. So there you go. There's Clara and David and Gail and Julie and this one and that one and lesbians and the mall and 9 West. There it all is, everybody.
I hope Chuck and Steve's lives are miserable.
They probably are living great lives, those two, too. They're probably like, woo!
They got golf memberships and shit.
Either way, Gail still probably has wonderful tits, I'm sure.
I'll bet
they still stand up great. So those puppies are hanging in there. If you like that show, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you listen on and tell everybody it's great. Say something nice. Give us 5 stars. It helps drive us up the charts. It's an easy, free way to help the show, and it takes 30 seconds. So thank you for doing that. As a matter of fact, you also want to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Chicago, August 12th.
Yes.
Our biggest show ever. If you guys show up, it's going to be amazing, and we will do a show exclusively for Chicago. A live show that no one else will get, only Chicago, just for you guys. Come with it, Chicago. Come strong. August 12th. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets also Atlanta, D.C., Charlotte, Philly, and Dallas. Get your tickets right now. Everything else is sold out. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Yeah. All the bonus material, anybody $5 or above, you get it all. Everything, whole back catalog, new episodes, 2 of them every other week. This week, crime and sports in-ring boxing deaths. Yeah. Beat to death in front of a crowd of people. That's wild shit. For Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about American Hollow, a documentary about people that make the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia look like you're looking at the fucking Buckingham Palace and their inhabitants in there. Crazy people from Mudlick, Tennessee, murder, mayhem, craziness. We'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime in sports. There, your stupid opinions coming out one of these weeks. We're waiting for the feed to be done and set up by the company. It's all, our end is done, put it that way. So we're waiting for it. Your stupid opinions, watch out for it. Monday mornings coming your way. Social media at Murder Small, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Keep doing that. Want to find us? Very easy to do that. Website links, boom, follow us, bitch, pow, pow. That's right. ShopAndGetMeMurder.com. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between two worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.